Hello. I figured it had been a few weeks since I made a video, and I thought I had some good information today that I thought might be helpful to some people. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that's had these issues, but I thought I would start off by saying that I think that everybody has unresolved issues when they get out of a relationship, such as, a narcissist or whatever. And I think the biggest one that I found is that because I'd stayed quiet for so long and never was able to speak my mind or how I felt or defend myself or anything like that, that I found now that I'm kind of antagonistic. Not, I guess maybe not really antagonistic, just not very tolerant. And I find myself getting little bursts of anger, and it dissipates as quick as it comes. But if I hear people, whether it be man or woman, bad mouthing another person or giving that other person a lot of grief, especially if it resonates and especially if I've heard it before, and which, trust me, I've probably heard every phrase. So I'm pretty good at picking up on it. But I think people need to understand that that's normal. Pardon me. It just managed to get a crappy cold. So if you see me touching my face, it's probably because either my nose is running or I can't hear, my ears plugged, my neck still hurts. Anyway, so I thought maybe giving an explanation for people that you are going to most likely feel anger. And I think it's totally normal from what I've read and what I understand. It's completely normal to feel that way because you are afraid of making the same mistake again. And I know that's what I am. And I was driving home tonight by myself, and it was probably about 1 o'clock in the morning. I was just chilling, listening to some music, and I started replaying things in my head and of what happened that day. And I started thinking about it, and I guess a new fear kind of popped up for me. And I guess what that fear is I don't think I ever want to have to go through getting berated and treated like the way that I was treated. And I think I've got a fear now, of a big fear, of worrying that that's what would happen if I got into a relationship with someone. And so I think a lot of people are going to feel that way. I don't think I'm the only one. But I definitely know I am in no shape for a relationship of any sort. Maybe casual dating, hanging out, watching a movie or something, definitely. But anything else, definitely not. I think it's going to be a while before that happens, if ever. But the main issue I really wanted to address was the anger thing. And that one really took me by surprise because I'm actually not an angry person. And it really startled me when I started feeling this bubbling anger coming up inside me. And not that I wanted to harm anybody, it was because I wanted to defend them verbally, and I guess I was listening to, also, it's kind of funny because what started it was I was actually sitting in the lounge at Denny's restaurant, and somebody played Twisted Sister, We're Not Gonna Take It, and I was just sitting there kind of tapping my toe, and I thought, yeah, I'm not gonna take it anymore. No, I'm not, and I'm trying to find the line of regrowing my backbone and being able to stick up for myself. And versus going overboard. And I think it's a learning curve, and I'm going to work on it. But it's not like I freak out or anything. It's just that I just jump to people's defense. And I've heard a lot of it lately, just by just being around other people in a public setting. It's surprising. It's actually kind of shocking how many people um, speak so rudely to their partner, and it's appalling, really. Um, and I used to be that person. I used to be the one that was sitting there, except for my narcissist would never do it in public because God forbid he should ever tarnish his you know reputation, what the outside world sees. And I'm sure this has happened to other people too, where um, everybody would tell me, oh, he is such a nice guy. He is so nice. Boy, you are so lucky. Boy, I wish my husband did that or my boyfriend did that. And the only thing that would go through my mind is I'm like, holy shit. Why don't you go home with him? How about when you're right out of earshot, when everybody else is out of earshot and you have to get in the vehicle with him? How about you do that? And then you come back and tell me what a nice person they are. So I think that all stems from the just tolerating more than you wanted to. And the one thing that always sticks out in my mind from tolerating, I'll just say it, his bullshit, is we shared a bank account, and I always found it funny how he could spend money on whatever he wanted, but if I spent money, I mean literally any money, it would be the fifth degree. What I mean by that is he would take his phone and he would flip open the banking app, and he would slowly scroll through, and he'd look at me, look at the phone, look at me, look at the phone, and say, what did you spend $11.75 on at 7-Eleven? And I was like, well, I got a soda, I got the kids a soda, they wanted some chips, and there went $11. Then you go, huh. Then you keep scrolling, right? And he'd be like, how in the hell could you spend $160 at Fred Meyer's for groceries? What did you do, get cash back? And I said, no, that's what it cost. And those types of things, and that's what I was thinking about today on the way home. I was like, I'm never going to do that again. If I ever get involved with somebody ever again, I will always have my own bank account. I will always keep things separate. I will never, ever, ever put myself in that position. So if you're dealing with a narcissist or anyone like that right now, I highly suggest you get your own bank account, because if it isn't already happening, it probably will. And when you have to account for every little thing, but if you turn around and you ask them what they spent money on, they feel they don't have to tell you, because it's always a double standard. It's only whatever they want you to answer. So I would suggest getting your own bank account and making things as separate as possible, because once they're commingled, that's more control that they have, and you need to keep control of yourself. I don't know what it is with people feeling that they need to control other people, because I don't ever feel that towards anybody. I don't feel like I need to control them. So I don't get the whole I'm gonna tell you what to eat, what to wear, who you can talk to. I don't get that. I wouldn't want to feel like a dictator. And I think it's just sad. I've been listening. I've been kind of been a silent spectator of sorts, watching other people's relationships, most often because I've been trying to figure out where I went wrong. And I definitely made mistakes. Sure, everybody makes mistakes. And I will forever probably kick my own ass all the time in my head emotionally, mentally for that, because I think that if I would have been able to be just a little bit stronger, if I hadn't have fallen prey to it, if I could have been just a little bit tougher, maybe things wouldn't have been so bad and they wouldn't have gotten so out of hand as they are right now. And I think everybody needs to remember that. Everybody should have a handbook when they get married, and it should be what you will and will not tolerate, or what is normal and what's not normal, I should say, you know. But live and learn, right? Anyway, enough about that. I saw a quote on Facebook. I think it was probably today. I think it was. I wrote it down because it really hit home for me. It said, you're not lazy or unmotivated or stuck. After years of living your life in survival mode, you're exhausted. There is a difference. And that's true, because I used to do so many things, and I found that since the split almost 2 years ago, I haven't even hardly got back to anything. I did get back into drawing for a short while, and then I kind of messed that all up, but I haven't been drawing since. And occasionally I do, but not like I used to. I used to find great solace in drawing, and it used to make me feel good because it was a means for me to escape. And right now, when I try to sit down and I draw, I find that I start to draw and my mind wanders and it drifts, and then I look down and I realize that I haven't even been drawing. And it used to not be like that. And I used to keep a very close rein on my house, put clothes away right away. Pardon me. And things like that. And I found that I don't do that anymore. They'll sit there. And I kind of wander around my house and I look and I'm like, why should I do that? You know, and I was never that way. Ever. I was a very motivated, hardworking individual. And when it said that you're, from years of living your life in survival mode, that you're just plain ass exhausted, I think that's really where I'm at. I think I'm just absolutely exhausted of doing everything I could for someone else, to the point that it literally, I think it just wore me out. And if you're at that stage right now too, don't be hard on yourself because you have no motivation. And I know that I wish I had a better motivating factor, but I've lost most of it. Pretty much all of it, actually. And it's sad. And I hope that one day I'll be able to get back to the way that I used to be. But the funny part is I don't know if I have a hard time remembering what it was like, what my life was like before I married him. So I'm wondering if that was really me at all, or if I was just pretty much forced to do that, and because I knew I didn't have a choice. So, and now I think because I am so damn determined that I have a choice in everything, that I just don't give a damn. And I wish I did, but I don't. I don't care. I think once everything has been stripped from you and you're literally left with absolutely nothing, you're just like, what the hell do I care? What the hell am I striving so hard for? Why am I trying to work so hard? Why am I beating myself up every day? And I think it's just because I got exhausted and I'm just done. And right now I'm doing what I can to make it every day, and you'll probably do the same. I mean, maybe not to my extent or maybe more. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just trying to hopefully help people and try not to get yourself involved in other people's bickering arguments, because that's not, your nose shouldn't belong there. But the few times that I have butted in, luckily nothing happened. But I just feel bad for other people, because I think it's because I wish there would have been somebody there for me when that was going on with me, and whether it be man or woman, that somebody would have been able to stand up and say, you know what, knock that shit off, quit doing that. You don't get to do that to another human being, because you'll find that you're now going to have to go the rest of your life trying to survive what they did to you, trying to combat it every day, every single day, and hope and pray that you'll get there, and hope that they haven't screwed you up so goddamn bad that you can't have a normal life again. And I think that's what I'm worried about most too, is not being able to get back to feeling like I have a normal life again. And because the funny part is that I was with him for almost the same length of time to the age I was when I met him. So literally half my life. And so whole adult life actually. So it was my whole adult life, from early 20s to now. So I think it's important that everybody understands that you're going to mess up. You're going to have lots of breakdowns. You're going to have a lot of irritating factors and deal with anger and lack of motivation and just not giving a good goddamn. And that's where I'm at. So I search every day to try to improve myself. If I can think of one thing a day that I can do better than I did yesterday. And that's what I've been trying to do. Like forcing myself to deal with reality and not trying to drown my sorrows away. It's not because I'm sad. That's what's funny, is I'm not sad that my marriage is ended or anything like that. It's I'm sad because of the life I wasted. And I'm sad of everything that I've lost. And to literally feel like to have everything taken from you and just like that, just gone. It's kind of a culture shock. And I think you'll experience that too. So I'd say focus on one thing you can do every day that betters yourself, or try to figure out what you can do that day that was better than yesterday. And if you can't, that's okay. Try again tomorrow. Because there's days that I don't do that at all. But try to stay out of toxic areas. Stay away from couples bickering. Stay away from, no matter if they're your best friend or not, stay out of it. I know that I can't handle hearing people argue because it gets me upset and I still walk away. And I don't want to hear it. I don't even want to be reminded of it. I would just rather kind of be oblivious, And, but, anyway, so just remember, living your life in survival mode things are going to start changing for you. And I find that about every month or so, my temperament and personality changes just a little bit more. And I guess what I'm trying to say is not really my personality hasn't changed for the worse. I think it's coming back to what it was. I'm trying to be a lot happier because I wasn't a happy person before. Anyway, so think about those. I wish you guys the best of luck, and I'll try to figure out something else to talk about on another time.